Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our bold analysis. I want to state that Musalia Mudavadi's disappointment in Kenya Kwanza looks like a well-scripted movie that was done and promoted by the best promoters in the world. In this video, I think I am one of the analysts that captured very well the fallout between Musalia Mudavadi and Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And immediately after that analysis, you saw Mudavadi coming out to say, making a statement that walisema tumewachana, that walisema nimekosa kwa rally. You see me back. He came back to save face. Deep down, just moments before Musalia Mudavadi went to that rally, there was a meeting between Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and not Moses Wetangula and Alfred Mutua, because the son of Mdamba was sitting pretty comfortable back home in Westlands. What exactly is happening? And today, I want to give you a blow-by-blow account on what exactly had been playing out, because I think we had mentioned here about Musalia Mudavadi now retreating back to campaign for UDA candidates, skipping UDA rallies at this critical moment to go and have and tour the USA, and I analyzed it here. But then, what do you think happened? I want to explain that. And one thing you need to understand is that the Kenya Kwanza team, I want to agree with my good friend Don Isabwa, who said that Kevin, the Kenya Kwanza team did not exist. And it did not exist. It was just a political packaging to try to levelize, to be at the same level with that of Azimio la Umoja. There was no way Deputy President was going to this election by UDA, but the best way to accommodate all those other parties and also seem to be having a bigger house was to have Kenya Kwanza. And for the avoidance of doubt, Kenya Kwanza was the concept of Musalia Mudavadi. Now, do you know that the UDA and presidential campaigns are fully coordinated and mobilized by UDA portfolio, by UDA aspirants? And the way things have happened seems to be giving Musalia Mudavadi a challenge. And I want to give you some very recent incidences that were captured. Now, according to reports that are emerging, when William Kabogo and Moses Kuria wrote a letter, they wrote a letter to William Ruto and also to Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, because those are the three anchor parties of Kenya Kwanza. So the other small parties are coming through those three anchor parties, UDA, Ford Kenya, and ANC, to help try to resolve what Kabogo and Kuria were seeing as balkanization of their parties in Mount Kenya and Mount Kenya parties. Do you know that to date that issue was never addressed and no meeting was held? What happened? Deputy President just got a deal with Moses Kuria, and I think Moses Kuria is one of the most fluid politicians, gullible politician in this country. Now, what, according to reports emerged, is that Deputy President reverted that issue to be addressed by the Presidential Secretariat, and then was demanding that both the other parties of Kenya Kwanza, the other affiliate parties of Kenya Kwanza that want to be part of that meeting, was to face off, or rather to be addressed by his Presidential Secretariat, in the guise that of course he was so busy with the presidential campaigns. Now, the leader of the Presidential Secretariat is Josephat Nanok, and this is something that did not sit well with Musalia Mudavadi. That was a red flag. Now, this Presidential Secretariat is the apex body that organizes the campaigns. And do you know that some of these leaders around Deputy President that are members of Kenya Kwanza are normally briefed about the happenings, or rather the rallies, last minute, and they are not made to understand what exactly was going to happen. Now, these small leaders did not, these other small parties did not second members to be part of that secretariat. And these are things that are coming out. During Mombasa rally, remember Amason Kingi was missing. So he missed Mombasa, he also missed Kilifi when Ruto was there. And we analyzed about the absence of Amason Kingi. One of the reasons was because Deputy Presidential Secretariat, because it is majority of the members there are UDA, the communication, the vertical communication is skewed towards UDA luminaries. And Amason Kingi skipped because the people that organized the rally in Kilifi were Aisha Jumwa and UDA MP aspirants. So he felt shortchanged. What does that show? Let us go to the very recent one. When I was in Western, that is the very week that Musalia Mudavadi attended the gubernatorial launch in Mumias complex by Cleophas Malala. Now, during that tour, there were some tours in Bungoma and Kakamega that UDA ordered their aspirants, and even led by Boni Khalwale, to skip Musalia Mudavadi's rallies there, simply because Musalia Mudavadi was campaigning for ANC candidates. What happened 2 days later, Deputy President Boni Khalwale and Moses Wetangula went to Western and went there to campaign. So to Mudavadi, I think there is something like, why was it that when he was going, he was not escorted by the UDA candidates? And this is the same thing that happened in central Kenya. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this points out to not really party zoning, but bit of a skewed UDA affair. And on this one, Ruto is kind of right, because the project of coming up with one political party, that project was not laid somewhere lying. Ruto knew what exactly he wanted. But Mudavadi seems to be someone that has been pushed to the periphery and is at the point of no return. And politics sometimes is quite unfair, because I can mention here that my understanding about Musalia Mudavadi and William Ruto's merger, that amalgamation was a trap to make sure that UDA would have a soft spot to field candidates in Musalia Mudavadi's strongholds. And categorically, I don't see that Deputy President's plan was to get a chunk of the Western vote through Musalia Mudavadi. If Musalia Mudavadi was to deliver the 70%, which is for me now is a mirage, then Musalia Mudavadi was to use this in a bargaining power. This I'm saying because of this. Do you know that you need 70% of the Western vote, but you will still go somewhere and abuse Eugene Wamalwa? Honestly, you need 70% from. I don't see that he really needed that Western vote. And so I want to point out exactly why Mudavadi is reading Mischief. And these are the elements that you can pick up from latest political developments that are happening in the country. I want to humbly request you, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to this channel. Click the notification bell and like our video. I also want to say thank you for people who have been sharing with friends and relatives. Today, someone shared with me a photo, and it was a photo of he went to his boss office na akapata boss and watched the bold. Oh my goodness. It's an MD, of course, so I should not mention his name, but hiyo nasema tu asanteni sana wazee, because we are doing this and we are growing because of this, the fact that now the bold is getting that kind of support. I want to start by using analogy, a statement that was given by Alfred Mutua when the meeting that he held with Maendeleo Chap candidates in KCC. That is the meeting that he was having. Then Raila Odinga made a call to him and was saying Raila is calling. He was saying that the Chama Cha Maendeleo Chap candidates need money to campaign. Now let me tell you, according to the sources I was trying to peruse through, Deputy President had a budget running in billions to fund the presidential campaigns. And part of those funds was, there is a fraction that was to go to Musalia Mudavadi, and that was probably to support his candidates, or rather to support ANC candidates. And so that's why you saw when there was that bit of that fallout, candidates were leaving, going this side and crossing over, Mudavadi was very collected and was very reserved because he knew that he had finances to fund the ANC candidates. Now, it is a mirage that perhaps that money has never been availed, and that money has never been there. So the campaign resources, the misery around shareability of campaign resources is one of the things that made Mudavadi to sue a Mischief. Do you know that my position has been that the tour that Musalia Mudavadi was having in US probably was to mobilize for resources, and those resources were being mobilized, I want to believe, for ANC, under the ANC vehicle, not under Kenya Kwanza. But there is nothing that exists known as Kenya Kwanza. It is just a statement. It's a campaign slogan for packaging. It's just a package. It's a packet. But what exists is UDA, ANC, Ford Kenya. Now, this fund seems to have not been availed. And to date, of course, there have been different defense to this, that maybe part of that money has been locked by government under the money laundering issues, and just also looking at restrictions at the IBC, and there is a lot of vigilance on the government side. But to extent, you can see that whatever ANC is doing in their capacity as ANC is less compared to what is done in the presidential secretariat. Now, Mudavadi, the fact that he was exempted from the campaign secretariat because Musalia Mudavadi was supposed to be the chairman of that campaign secretariat, one, by the virtue of experience. This is a politician that played that role in 2017, and truth be told, he executed the chief campaigner for Raila Odinga comfortably. I attended Musalia Mudavadi's rally in my village, in Alego Songa, Masumbi, when he was saying Nasa how campaigning for Asanga, Nasa Gumbo. I remember very well. So the fact that he was shortchanged, I think he read a mischief because first, he attracts a national appeal. Two, the person that was picked, Nanok, was to woo minority groups of Turkana. Yes, that is a strategy, but Musalia Mudavadi was also vouching for Salim Vuria from Kwale, because Kwale is also one of the counties that was having a challenge. Deputy President did not have appointment. Even though if you also look at Nanok in Turkana, it's only Nanok who is the powerful politician from that area. So the fact that was picked, that points out to proximity of William Ruto as a president, and maybe Mudavadi saw that at the end of the day, how am I going to show my work done if I am not given that position? Kithure Kindiki is a chief agent. Rigathi Gachagua is a running mate. What is the stake of Musalia Mudavadi in there? It's a question that you can ask. I also see the secrecy of the National Tallying Center at Westlands. I want to agree that when it was being launched, Mudavadi was out of the country. And do you know that that center has been in operation since March? This is according to Josephat Nanok when he was talking that event. He said that center has been in operation for long. But however, it is believed that it was kept a secret to other affiliate parties of Kenya Kwanza. This might have been really in order by Deputy President team, because they wanted, there is a bit of mistrust. There are a lot of moles in that team. So Ruto might have seen that. Now, that secrecy, if that is kept secret, then I think in the mind of Musalia Mudavadi, you can ask himself a question, really, how many things are being kept secret? And you can talk about Musalia Mudavadi, Ruto and Wetangula deal. Now, UDA party fallout. There is something that you can see, that there was over-reliance on the UDA leaders for mobilization. But do you know, at the time that Kipruto Arap Kirwa was leaving Chama cha UDA as the national chair, as I think a chair, deputy chair, I think deputy organizing secretary, even Johnston Muthama is believed that he wanted to leave because deputy president had pushed him to the periphery and gave Alfred Mutua a front seat. So he wanted to leave, but I want to believe that was not possible because of Machakos gubernatorial bid. If you leave UDA, will he vie as an independent candidate? Not possible. He could not join Azimio la Umoja because he doesn't have a party to go to Azimio la Umoja. If he can join as his capacity, that's going to square out his maybe his votes there. And I think that's why he remained reserved. But as you can see, Johnston Muthama really exempted himself from the national campaigns. Even though he's concentrating on Machakos, which I want to believe, I don't see him standing a better chance against Wavinya Ndeti and Waita. But you can see that the leadership style, even at the UDA, there was a problem. And some of these things might have leaked out to Kenya Kwanza affiliate parties and was causing the friction. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold.